if you, like I said, if you could touch on the San Francisco Eight, because again,
Oh, yeah.
there's folks who aren't familiar with that particular case,
Okay.
and
I'm
it,
gonna give you something. This all stems from damn school, but it stems from Jonathan Jackson. No, no, it doesn't. It stems from the first black man that they took and chained him up, and that black woman, and brought him to this country. Resistance, resistance, resistance was always on that black man's mind, and that gene was passed on to many of us. They say in the Bible, Francis Fanon said it also, many were called, but few were chosen. And that few that were chosen carried the gene, and that gene continued throughout all of us. But to get to the point on the San Francisco 8, I wanted to give you that on the foundation. Basically, I'm saying that's where the Black Liberation Army came from. That first black man they stole, and that black woman. So there's always been a Black Liberation Army here. And I just happened to be a part of it because when I was in the Black Panther Party, I took everything literally to the point on the 10-point program and the rules of the party. And it also is quoted in there that you could join no other organization but the Black Liberation Army. So Black Panther Party was a stepping stone. And once it petered out, I took it to the next level. The next level was the Black Liberation Army. And we all were accused of different things in this struggle. I was arrested in Los Angeles because at the time, your father, Razuli, gave me a message from your Uncle G. He was in jail. He knew I was underground and I'd made contact. I'd come above ground. And he said that G wanted to give me something special and I can have it. And so I said, cool, what is it? He told me it was a nice package. It was what we needed, weapons and stuff. We were underground. So told me where to pick it up. So I didn't pick it up. I called back and made arrangements for somebody else to go talk to G and make sure this is a sure thing because I didn't know these people. G said, as far as he knew, he was pretty sure that the guy was solid. That was the message that came back to me. I didn't know that this guy was an FBI informant. So he told me to meet him at a certain place, certain time at 9 o'clock. I told him, all right. 51st and 50-something in Hooper, in that area. And I went over there. I was going by myself. Ray asked, could he go with me? And JP said, well, I want to go too. So we went. When we got over there, knocked on the door. So a lady comes to the door. I asked for the guy that was supposed to meet. She said, you don't live here. So I looked around. I seen the headlights come on down the street. I thought it was people from the US organization because at that time, we were warring with them, but I wasn't a part of that war. I'd left that. I didn't sign up to kill black people. I signed up to serve the people. So we was getting ready to leave. Another car lights came on. It followed us. They were plain clothes, plain cars. I didn't know. They were SWAT teams. We got down the street. A black and white came out of nowhere, got behind us. I kept looking in the side view mirror. I could see a line of cars all of a sudden behind us. I tell Ray, don't pull over in that particular area because they had the lights on us. I tell them to make sure we pull over where there's lights so that people could see what happened. We had guns on us, but we always had guns back then because people were killing members of the Black Panther Party. Robert Weber got killed. Fred Bennett disappeared. Franco Diggs was there. You know, Butch and John, all this other stuff going on. John Savage, Sylvester Bell. So yeah, we all got guns. But this was a SWAT team. Police get out, we pull over. Police come up to my window, keep hollering at me. I put my hands on the front seat. I'm sitting in the rear, passenger side. I don't know if some just said, move your head, some bitch gonna shoot. No sooner I moved my head, big flash came across my face. So I grabbed my gun, I started shooting back. Next thing I know is just shooting everywhere. So we go to jail, we all shot up, get these lawyers together, we fight for about 10 months to get the bail reduced to $25,000 a piece. That was in 1972. When the bail got to $25,000 a piece, our bail was paid $25,000 a piece, cash. So they let us out. They tried to follow us. We ditched them. Immediately went back underground. Immediately went to doing underground work, whatever was necessary. Moved out of the state of California, making our moves. JB was in New Orleans. He called me, asked me to come over. He wanted me to help him with some stuff. I went over there. I didn't know they'd captured Reuben Scott. I wasn't there a week. I just got there. I walked into a trap. They thought I was Herman Bell when I walked up. It was the FBI, U.S. Marshals, New Orleans Police Department, New York Police Department, Los Angeles Police Department. Seemed like they had every damn police department in the country there. Hauled us off to the station. Immediately start beating us. Immediately, as soon as they got us in there. Threw me in a holding tank. Reuben Scott was balled up in the corner in a fetus position. He had a broken arm. He was bleeding. He urinated all on himself. Feces all down his leg. He was shaking. They'd been beating on him, torturing him for about a couple of days. They put me in there so I could see that and let me stay in there for a few minutes. I was trying to talk to Reuben, but he wouldn't talk to me. He was like, he was in shock. So they took me out, told me that's what I'm going to be like when they get through with me. They start beating me, put a plastic bag over my head, tied me to a chair, almost suffocating that plastic bag. They snatch it off, spit on me, spit in my face, beat me all damn night. Took off all my clothes, tied me up to the chair, put the blanket over my head, poured hot ass damn water over it. And they beat me some more and all that shit. And then they came with the cattle prod, sticking me all around my nuts, under my armpits, bottom of my feet. Beat me with a slapjack on my damn knees, on my shins. Shit, I screamed and hollered all night. Yeah, they started trying to talk to me. FBI came in there. I told them, I don't know shit. Don't want to talk to nobody. I told the FBI, you supposed to be working for the government. You're supposed to stop this shit. You know what's going on. They said, we're not touching you. We don't see nothing. We don't know nothing. They left out. Come back with the goons from New York and New Orleans. They come back in and beat. That's what happened in New Orleans. And then they took us to court. And they told us not to talk, sitting at the court. They put us on the elevator all the way down. We had to carry Reuben because he had a broken arm and he limped real bad. So me and JB carried Reuben with chains on us. We went from the city jail to Parish prison. Parish prison was notorious prison in New Orleans. It was old slave docks where they stole slaves from. It was really ironic that we were put in the same places that our ancestors were put. And, they took us to court, and I told the judge what they were doing. And they were trying to make me make statements and all that shit. I told them everything, what they were doing to us. The judge, magistrate, he ordered them not to question me no more, not to say nothing without my lawyer present. Part of the lawyer ordered them that. They would remand me into the custody of the parish prison sheriff. But the New York police and San Francisco police talked the judge out of it. Said we were a security risk. And they were afraid that somebody's going to come break us out. They was afraid of the Black Liberation Army. This was the same year that Mark X's that got on top of that building. Howard Johnson was shot up. She killed about 6 or 7 pigs. They called us a part of that tip. And at the same time, Richard Nixon was in town. And they claimed we come to assassinate him. They were trying to just book us on all kinds of charges. And about 6 or 7 bank robberies. So we stayed there. And they wanted us to extradite us back to California. Me and JB decided we wasn't going to waive extradition. We wasn't going to sign extradition because we didn't want to leave Reuben there by himself. And we wanted to testify for Reuben when he had to go to court for his bank robbery so we could testify to the torture that made him confess to the bank robbery. So they kicked that bank robbery out on Reuben so they can take us and extradite us back to California. So they brought me back to California. And stayed there for another year. And the strategy we had to get out of jail was, since they accused me of being the shooter, I would go first. We would get a severance. And if they tried me and couldn't convict me on the shooter as initiating the shooting, they had no case. Everybody else go home. But they didn't convict me. I got found not guilty of all 6 charges. I think I had about 12 charges altogether, except the police. They found me not guilty. But they had an old gun charge on me in San Diego. But my lawyer had got wind of that long before they thought she did. And she filed for a speedy trial. And they didn't give me a speedy trial. So when they took me to San Diego, after I got found not guilty, took me to San Diego, they chained me up, kept me down there for a day. When I went to court, the judge, I had a lawyer to come there, and he spoke in my behalf. And he said I required a speedy trial. And San Diego District Attorney's Office didn't bring me to San Diego when I asked for my speedy trial, state of California. Back then they had 65 days if you demanded a speedy trial, and they didn't give it to you. Well, it's been over a year. Never got mine. So the judge dismissed the charges and released me that day. But I didn't get out that day. I mean, right away. I got out 6 hours later after they finished running makes across the country on me. When I got out, I couldn't keep fucking jobs. Every job I had, FBI come.
Wow.
FBI come and say I was a terrorist, a homegrown terrorist, cop killer, communist, anti-American, whatever the fuck, all of it. And started calling my mama's house and telling my mama to come down there and identify my body downtown at the morgue. My mama's house one day. She had just got off the phone with them dogs. And she saw me and she screamed like she saw a ghost. And she asked me to leave California. And don't tell nobody where I'm going. friend or foe. Don't tell anybody. She didn't even want to know. So I went to the furthest state I could go to on this landmass. I went to Florida. In a little time, nobody knew who the fuck I was. But I knew the FBI knew because I never changed my name. I used my social security number. So I stayed down there for 30-something years. I worked. I still did work with my comrades. It's none of their business, none of the people's business down there. You know, we always had a phrase, them that know don't tell, them that tell don't know. And I'm a man of principles because my principles is what kept me alive. Certain things I do and certain things I'm not going to do. And I live by those principles, and that saved my life. And I worked down there all those years in 2000, and was it whatever that year was, 2001, when the 2 buildings came down. No sooner than 1 building hit the ground, JB was calling me. He said, "You see that?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Here they come. They're coming." JB had always had his ear close to the ground. I have to acknowledge that. He had somebody in the district attorney's office in California that was giving him information long before Kamala Harris and their people made their move. She was in on it at first until she found out about the torture, and she bailed out. She said she wasn't going to try that case. So the feds picked it up. Homeland Security picked it up under the Patriot Act on a murder of a police officer in San Francisco right after George Jackson was killed. They say a group of black men ran into the police station and shot it up and killed the police. They've been looking for him for 30-something years, and that I was one of the people involved. And that's how I became one of the San Francisco 8. And they start coming to my house, asking me questions, and I always say, man, when anybody asks you questions, that means they don't fucking know. So why are you volunteering information? They tell you from the beginning, you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. They make it pretty plain. All you got to do is say no. When they come back again, they're going to come back. Well, just for your sake, we're trying to help you. Still tell him no. Don't want your help. Need a lawyer. So they knew that they wasn't talking to me when they came to visit me. They was talking to my old lady because she never been in trouble. Never knew my back history. Now, I told her, I said, they're saying all this shit for you. So you can tell me I need to talk to them. That's what that was for you, not for me. I know these people. I've been fucking with them all my life. They don't have shit. If they had something, they would never came here and talked to me. They'd have came here with a fucking warrant.
Okay.
Maybe just swoop my ass up and be gone. That shit was not for me. It was for you. And you're doing exactly what they want you to do right now by questioning me. And I told you, don't ask me no questions. That's the only way I can keep you safe. And that's why I always never told anybody anything about my life. That old town I lived in, was shocked and amazed that I got arrested for that shit, San Francisco. But
So they vamped on you all at the same time, correct? So it wasn't just when they did end up snatching you up.
Took me back the first time for a grand jury. They tried to get me to testify against myself and my co-defendants, my comrade. And I took the fifth. It took me, Ray, Hank, Rich Brown, JB. We went to the front of the grand jury and refused to talk. First, they took Ray, locked him up in August. Then they called Hank and locked him up. And then they called me in September and locked me and Rich Brown up. And JB, they locked him up in October. But we all got out at the end of October because the grand jury wouldn't indict us. because we wouldn't testify against ourselves and we wouldn't lie on each other.
Correct.
A statement from anybody from San Francisco to help their case.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Bell in jail. They went back to New York. They're both out of jail now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So now, when this took place, if I'm not mistaken, some of the same cops that tortured you all came to pick you up, or who was that? I think I heard somewhere along the story that some of the same.
That fucking cop came. I hadn't seen him in 30 years. When they first got dismissed, back when the judge in California, Los Angeles, in my court case, they tried to get Reuben Scott to testify against me with that torture shit, where we brought the torture up. And the judge said that anything they got on that torture was suppressed, because inadmissible, because it was obtained through torture. So the statements was kicked out. So when I seen him, and he got pissed off when I walked past him in the courtroom, they was taking me back to the holding tank. I asked the bitch, how do you like me now? He said, fuck you, this shit never goes away. I'll be back. That was back in 1974, he told me that.
Wow.
And that same motherfucker came back in 2007, 2006, and says, remember me? I told you I'll be back, motherfucker. And I ain't gonna leave until I see all you motherfuckers in Pelican Bay go in prison with the rest of the motherfuckers. And yeah, saw him when they dismissed it again too. I asked him once more, how you like me now, motherfucker? As I walked out of the courtroom, walked out at 850 Bryant Street, San Francisco, California.
I bet he didn't say nothing then, did he?
I ain't never been to prison in my fucking life.
Wow.
That's wild. So the crazy thing about it is you all went through all this torture and you were never in prison. So I know that part of this, as you mentioned, Jalil and Herman Bell were part of this case as well, correct?
Right.
And they're both free right now, as you mentioned. So and we've had Jalil on the program numerous times. So definitely we're glad to have you on telling your story, and glad that you are free. And we're gonna definitely stay in tune with you, because I think that you all have a lot to share with with our audience. One of our main things is political education. You know what I mean? Because I think that
I like that.
Yeah, because it's so many brothers and sisters out here that I think mean well, but they don't understand the depths of what's going on.